Suspect identified as FBI investigates active terrorism after Bourbon Street attack. Now, I know all of us out there have our own fun conspiracy theories that we believe in and all of that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff out there that I think is silly. There's a lot of stuff that I believe. But I'll tell you what. 2 attacks in one day.
Yeah.
No, this is not organic. I don't care who says what. There's no way this was organic. And sure enough, both of these clowns were on the FBI radar.
Listen,
it's like
everybody who goes through that much training in the military is going to be on the radar. I'm on the radar. You're on the radar.
I'm on all the best lists, man.
Yeah.
I'm on like 5 lists.
Yeah. I haven't made the no-flight list yet, but
I'm not on the no-fly list, but I'm definitely on the knock on the door list. I found that one out. God, this is active terrorism after Bourbon Street attack. First of all, this guy, let's see if I've got, here's the suspect identified. No, slow your roll there, little thing. Okay, at least 10 people were dead and dozens injured after a driver plowed a pickup truck into the crowd. 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar of Texas. First of all, you're not from Texas, okay? I'm tired of playing the whole diversity is your friend. We have to like all of these people crap. These people walk around blatantly talking about wanting to kill us. It's a fucking problem.
Yes, you're correct.
It's a problem. Listen, you can't have this shit.
No, just hear me out here on this one.
I'm hearing you.
This guy has been divorced like 3 times.
Yes.
Living in a shack. All right. So when you strip away all of the hope from somebody, you can easily flip them to the dark side and radicalize them.
Absolutely. It looks like that's exactly what happened to this guy, too. He ended up radicalizing with some guys at a local mosque in Texas again. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for how I feel about this stuff. These people who radicalize, these radical Islamists that we know that are here in the United States, they have to go.
Yeah.
You don't keep a rabid dog in your back fucking yard.
That's right. But hear me out, though.
Okay.
So we've just had the Supreme Court make this big ruling, I think it was 5 or 6 months back, about alphabet agencies making rules that were implemented as laws. So we have all kinds of people who are in the prison system who will be out probably shortly because of this overturning. And they spent maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 decades in there. Do you think when they, were like, oh, our bad, you're free now. Do you really think they're going to be all like kumbaya?
Yes.
No.
Not gonna end well.
No. And then we have the divorce courts.
Yeah.
Literally.
Rumor has it Biden let a couple of guys go from Gitmo too.
Yeah. But literally, we have divorce courts wrecking men, turning them into homeless beggars because
that's going to be a big one.
A woman said, I'm not happy. And then we have a judge hitting a gavel on a piece of wood. So you're going to have all of those guys looking for, get a little piece of somebody's ass as well.
Before Christmas, we read the letter from our guy up in Grayling.
Yeah. Yeah.
The shit that he's being put through. He's a 100% disabled veteran, and this judge is just stripping all of his assets and telling him to his face in court that he's not a good father. What is that going to do to people? And what happens when you do that to the wrong people too many times? Because you and I, we've got quite a bit of discipline. We both come from disciplined skill sets. They're totally different things. You were a green beanie. I did intelligence, but they're highly disciplined skill sets. You get enough 0311s that go through this shit and their discipline's going to go out the window and they're going to go, screw the tanks. Let's go.
Gotcha. Hey, can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Am my volume low?
A little bit, yeah.
Is that better?
Do a test 1 2 3.
Test 1 2 3.
It's a little better. All right. But yeah, I mean, we have a system that is literally attacking half of the population.
Yeah.
And that population provides, protects, maintains the civilization that we have. What do you think is going to fucking happen? I think this goat rodeo is going to get much worse.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to say about the runny over guy is, why did you take it out on innocent people?
Because they get radicalized.
I know.
And have you ever been around somebody who's actually radicalized? The worst radicalization I ever saw was in the prison guards from the North Korean camps. Okay. I watched their faces come apart when they realized what they had done, because they had been radicalized and contained inside that radicalization bubble the entire time. And after a couple of days of talking to these guys, it dawns on them that what they were doing not only to fellow human beings, but to fellow Koreans. And I mean, we had them, those guys were on suicide watch all the time. All the fucking time we had them on suicide watch. And this bubble for this stuff is going to burst. Look, I don't want it. You and I both talk about it all the time. Nobody wants the shooty shit. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We don't want any part of that. But these things, these family courts, these incidents like this, the rape shit that's going on in England, the rapé. Sorry, YouTube. Didn't mean to algorithmize you. The stuff that's going on in the UK right now. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when some guy is going to go, you know what?
I've had enough.
And it's going to be one of the guys that knows how to do something.
Yeah. And listen, when you have enough people that are revved up, you're going to get the mob. Mm-hmm. And the mob is not a good thing. Mob justice is only justice in name.
Yep.
Mainly because it's not like the standard justice where you laser focus, get the people involved. Mob, it just envelops everyone around that person, and it gets ugly quick. And you can use any historical example you wish.
There's a worse case scenario than a pissed off 0311 who gets a hold of a couple of weapons. And that's a guy who figures out how to speak. And the next thing you know, you've got an infantry corporal taking over the entire country. Sound familiar at all?
Yeah.
Sound familiar? I mean, I'm serious. If one of these guys figures out how to start talking and he manages to make it through without being chucked in the, it clipped by somebody, they'll try and kill somebody like that right away. If somebody like that pops up. 0311 is Marine Infantry. Sorry, I see you over there in the corner.
11 Bravo.
Yes, 11 Bravos. 0311s. Sorry, we know these things.
Listen, 0311.
I'm serious. It's just a matter of
Marine Infantry, and they fight stupid. You can leave you can comment below if you wish, but they fight stupid. They treat their people like shit. I'm just saying. All right.
That's true.
Listen. True. The Marine Corps puts out the best infantry guy on the planet right off of Paris Island, and then they treat him like absolute dog shit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. It's my understanding that being in front of a Marine Corps blender is not a great thing, though.
No.
I wouldn't want to be the guy standing in the window going, "Oh, it's the Marines. Oh, it's going to be a bad day." So the subject has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas. I hate that. I hate their ass kissing. He was driving a Ford pickup, which appears to have been rented, and we are working to confirm how the subject came into possession of the vehicle. He and the Vegas guy both rented through a rental thing called Turo.
Yep.
Where you can borrow cars from people. It's not actually from a rental car agency. It's somebody else's car.
Huh.
So they both added dick move to their attacks because those cars belong to somebody else. This is At a
But
press
the thing
conference on
is
Wednesday, yeah,
I'm wondering if that's like an actual additional step to try to cover who's actually behind it.
it's a shitty one if it is, which tells me that it's that the FBI had them on their radar.
Yeah.
This is amateur tradecraft. This is like the lamest shit I've ever seen. Now, this particular guy, this clown was a 28 Lima was his MOS, which apparently is some sort of a computer wonk.
Okay.
They've changed all the numbers. I don't know the numbers anymore. The 74s used to be the computer wonks in the Army. Now apparently they're 28s. But that he would take an action like this after basically being a desk jockey his whole life is shocking.
Well, it is shocking. I'm not going to say it's impossible.
Yeah.
Now, he did serve on Fort Bragg along with the Green Beanie. I mean, Fort Bragg is the home of the Green Beanies.
Wait, Fort Bragg has hundreds of commands, dude. There's like 230 commands on Fort Bragg.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. They've got.
So here's our boy right here.
Uh-huh.
This guy, Mr. Suit wearing fella here, he was an information technology team leader at U.S. Army Reserve, information management officer at U.S. Army. This is off of his LinkedIn that somebody managed to get before they took it down. Senior information systems specialist, U.S. Army, human resources supervisor at U.S. Army, data entry operator, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, entry clerk at U.S. Postal Service. This guy didn't work like we worked right alongside of you guys because we did your commo and your signals.
Correct. But here's the thing.
This guy just ran databases of the human resources for units like that.
Yeah, but look at his credentials. I mean, he was living in a shack. He couldn't make his child support and alimony payments.
Yeah.
So guess what? You have nothing left to live for. Or you have nothing left to lose. You become infinitely more dangerous. Now, unfortunately, like I've said before, I am not a fan of taking it out on innocent people.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know, if I would have read the story, if I'd have read the story where, you know, he went and did some crazy stuff to people who were actually on paper for fucking his life up, I'd be I wouldn't condone it, but I would understand it. But you drive through a crowd of people just walking down the street, I cannot.
Well, this guy definitely has enough stuff that pushed him to have his last meal at the Aloha snack bar.
Yes.
Okay. I get that. But let's see here. A Glock handgun and 38 caliber rifle equipped with optics and a sensor recovered from the crime scene, blah, 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 according to high-level source who was not authorized to discuss details of the investigation publicly. That always happens. Leaks are so common these days.
Yes.
And an ISIS flag was also found on the pickup truck.
Which they covered up almost immediately.
Who created ISIS?
The CIA?
Christians in Action and Mossad.
Correct.
They created ISIS. That's ISIS never attacked a serious U.S. target or an Israeli target in its heyday, in which was 2006 thereabouts.
But like whenever they do shit like that, it's just a matter of time before they lose control of it, which they did.
Yes.
And it went crazy.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.